Every year people make New Year's resolutions to achieve some goal or stop some bad behavior. You may have made some yourself in the past. And if you're like most people, it don't work out so well. You know, a couple of weeks later, sometimes a couple of days later, poof, the resolution seems to have disappeared into the mist. So much so that the idea of making a New Year's resolution has become a bad joke in our culture. Sort of a way of saying, here's a commitment I don't really intend to keep. But think about that. How is it that in our culture, the one official time we have for making resolutions and commitments is a time where those commitments are laughable? Fortunately, there is a better way. I'm Mark Michael Lewis, head coach of the Game of Thriving, where the more you play, the better your life gets. And I'd like to share with you a key idea so that you can make commitments that actually work to get you what you really want, or to turn your resolutions into realizations. And we do that by tapping into what I call the big idea. And the big idea is this. Tomorrow, when you wake up, you will essentially inherit the life you have. Right? You'll wake up to a certain bank account and body and health and relationships. Right? It's as if you inherit it when you wake up. And the life you inherit when you wake up tomorrow is a function of the choices that you make today. And the choices you make are a function of the thoughts that you think. Life is a game played between the ears. And the better you get at this game, the better your life gets. So you can get more of what you really want and less of what you don't. So learning the rules of this game and how to play it with power and artistry is the master skill. Right? It's a simple equation, actually. It's just, if you want to master your life, master this game of thriving. Because the truth is, 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now, the life that you inherit when you wake up will be a function of the choices that you made in between now and then, right? The only question is, will those choices have been optimal? Will you have used your best intelligence and energy to focus on making choices that lead to the kind of life that you can't wait to wake up to? And to answer that question, ask yourself this. What is your current trajectory? I mean, based on your current habits and the predictable way that you'll respond to the distractions that life is certainly going to be offering you, right? Where are you headed? And is that where you really want to go? Because isn't that the point of making goals or resolutions, right? To consciously create a new trajectory that's different than the autopilot that you would predictably go on, right? So to put this all together, let me give you the key for making commitments that actually work, for creating that trajectory. And that's this. Don't make commitments to achieve a goal. Make a commitment to master the path that leads to the goal. Right? Make a commitment to a trajectory, not a destination. Not to some particular point on the journey, but to the journey itself. Resolve to yourself that you will master the path wherever it leads and whatever it takes. And I've got a lot more to say about this in my video on the dirty little secret about goals. But for now, just remember this. It's your commitment to master the path of accomplishment that actually works to propel you towards the kind of life that you want to live. Because think about it. In any case, 99% of your time is going to be spent on the path to accomplishment. And even when you get the goal, right, that's going to come and go like that. And then where are you? Well, what's next? What's next is the next part of the trajectory, back on the path. It's the path where all of the action is and where your life is really lived. So when you focus on mastering the path, you're actually putting your attention on the one place that you can really make a difference, so that your tomorrow, next month, next year are increasingly beautiful, increasingly thriving. That's how you turn your resolutions into realizations. The key is to master the path, not to achieve a particular goal. Which raises the question, what's the optimal path that you can commit to mastering? All right, so if life is in fact the game played between the ears, as I'm suggesting, then the optimal choice is to master that game. To learn to leverage your mind and reality as it is to build a life by design. Or, as I like to say, to live by choice, not chance. To make your deepest happiness your highest priority. This video is designed to encourage you or challenge you if need be to make this moment a pivot point in your life where you set a serious course for fulfillment and fun and prosperity to really make your life what it can be. And Joseph Campbell is famous for saying that if you follow your bliss, doors will open for you that wouldn't open for anyone else. And the way I like to think about it is this. When you truly commit to mastering the game of thriving in your life, it's as if you're going down a hallway, and down that hallway, there are doors that only exist in that hallway. And when you open up one of those doors, it actually takes you down another hallway where there are more doors. And when you open those, you go down another hallway. And so this compound set of choices leads you on a unique path where you're faced after a number of good choices with a set of opportunities that other people can't even imagine. The choices that we make us, for better and for worse. So what's the choice you're going to make today, in this moment? Right? Where do you want to go? And what's the choice that's going to get you there? And as you think about that, I'll remind you, you can do this. You can make this happen. It'll take work, certainly, right? Everything worthwhile takes work. We know this. It'll take time and effort, and probably need to build some relationships and invest some capital, and certainly your intelligence and ingenuity. But you can do this. More importantly, you are worth it. You're worth doing whatever it takes to learn to master this game and create the life you want. And you know there's a next level waiting for you, right? You've envisioned it. It's on the tip of your tongue. You can almost taste it. And in case I haven't made it clear, right? The time is now to make that choice, right? Now is the time. Now is when everything happens. Now is your moment of opportunity. And perhaps I can put it more dramatically. The quality of your life is at stake on how seriously you make this choice. So I'm going to suggest that you foresee your future. This is one of my catchy phrases, right? Foresee your future. It's got 4 C's. And the phrase is, make commitments in times of clarity so you don't have to make choices in times of confusion. Right? Make commitments in times of clarity so you don't have to make choices in times of confusion. And now, I'm hoping, is a moment of clarity for you. And so the question becomes, what's the commitment that you can make that will get you on a path so that a week from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, you look back and say, I am so glad that I made that choice to get on that path because it forever changed the course of my life for the better. What is the commitment that you want to make? And so, to strike while the iron's hot, I'm going to give you a next step, right? And here it is. Schedule 15 or 30 minutes or an hour, 2 hours, whatever makes sense for you. Schedule time so that you can plan out your next step, so that you can make a series of commitments for this path, for your commitment, whatever that is for you. And second, find someone to make a commitment to that you're going to spend that time planning out your first steps and committing to mastering that path, right? Find someone and make sure that they're going to hold you accountable, that they're not going to let you off the hook. If you want to, you can email me and I will hold you accountable. I will follow up with you to make sure that you've taken that first step to get on that path, to make the commitment in times of clarity so you don't have to make choices in times of confusion. And if you like this video, another great next step is to watch the next video in the series, because it's all about how do you make that commitment? What are you going to need to make happen? And what are the advantages of actually committing to this path? In fact, you can say all the videos on this site are really about how do you commit and how do you walk the path and master the path of the game of thriving. Now, if you're serious about mastering the path of thriving, you want to move one of your projects forward or just enhance the entire quality of your life, and you want a coach who will guide you and inspire you and give you best practices and keep you on track, keep you on the path of thriving, I take on a handful of clients where I have a very deep personal relationship. And basically what that looks like is 5 days a week, a daily check-in to make sure that you're on path, to make sure that you're continually moving forward. Second, 2-hour video coaching sessions per month, about 4 hours, to make sure that the path that you're on is an expression of who you really are and what you really want, rather than what somebody else thinks that you are or what somebody else thinks that you should want. And third, a series of video and email coaching so that you can stay on track and track your trajectory through time so you can see how you're progressing and where you're headed. And if you want to know more about that, you can check that out below or at my site, optimalthriving.com. So, schedule the time, make a commitment with someone to hold you accountable to that time, and plan out your next steps so that you can master this game, the game of thriving, where the more you play, the better your life gets. See you in the next video.